GMGP, good morning, good people. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but y'all decided to wake up with us. You're sick. You're sick in the head. There's a lot of fantasy football shows out there, but I promise y'all, they not like us. Brock Bowers, you looked a little quicker than fast. What does that even mean? Redraft, Dynasty, best ball, high stakes, we got you covered.
And that's MVS and Justin Watson.
With some of the dopest tools designed to help you cancel out the noise and dominate your leagues.
If there's a white wide receiver named Antoine, sign me up.
Maybe it's cultural. I don't know. In season or off season, rain, sleet, hail, and snow,
comma, semicolon, period, next sentence.
to bring you the most actionable and entertaining content on YouTube. You don't go buy the dip on the Titanic.
Quarterback that you love, D-Bro. One of the best values in fantasy football.
Prop bets with my man Jay Rich.
Yes! Let's go!
So wipe the crust out of your eye, get you a cup of coffee. It's time to wake y'all asses up with Ray
And Jay.
in the morning.
My God.
How good is
Dude.
he? How good?
Oh! GMGP!
We are almost at the end of September. It is Monday, September 29, 2025. Y'all decided to wake y'all asses up with me and my dog, my brother from another mother. He may double down, he may triple down, but damn it, he's always down for the get down, baby. Jordan Richards, you can find him at your boy Jay Rich on X. Jay Rich, how about them Cowboys, baby? Hey, the world doubted him. The world doubted what we could do, and we didn't get a win, but we didn't lose. Jay Rich, I feel like I gotta get the cowboy hat, Jay Rich. I may have to giddy up, baby. Woo! We're gonna be all right. We're gonna be all right, baby. We got a lot to talk about. Fantasy football, NFL, but the biggest news, Jay, turn the music down a little bit. Turn the music down, Jay. Turn it down. It's messing up, so turn it off. Just turn it off. Turn the damn thing off. Let me wish my wife a happy birthday. Shout out to Mrs. GQ. She's coming back from Cali. Had a good time with a girl over the weekend. Wife's birthday. Big love, big shout out. Supports everything that we do. And she is a loyal viewer of the show, Jay Rich. So
Certainly is.
As I get ready to giddy up, because I'm feeling good, Jay Rich, how are you doing today, Jay Rich? How you feeling, big dog?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm always good. Happy to be here as always. Maybe one day I will get the solo shot when you get around to it.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. There you go. I'm doing too much, Jay Rich.
I had a good weekend though, right? Right, Ray? My Pats destroyed the Panthers as everyone should have expected, but you know, here I am. The Boston Red Sox, Ray, they are in the playoffs, facing off against the Yankees tomorrow, so everyone get excited, and we'll be postseason hits here. And of course, happy birthday to your wonderful wife. So
Yes.
happy birthday to her. Loyal
Yes.
viewer, one of my favorite people in the world. She's
go.
awesome, and she keeps that household in order, including yourself. So I'm always
does.
thankful for that. But how are you doing, my friend? You had a massive moral victory. Wasn't a win, wasn't a loss, but it was a draw last night.
Too many
Kept me
people
up
doubted
real
us,
late.
man.
Was not happy about that.
Too many people doubted this team. Too many people doubted what this line could do offensively. I put the reverse jinx on George Pickens last week. Smashed for us in fantasy football, man. We're feeling good to be 1-2-1. I'm feeling good, Jay Rich. I'm feeling good, baby.
You're okay. You're feeling good about
I'm
1,
feeling
2, and 1.
good.
So now that you got this massive victory in the eyes of the public,
What a victory.
where are the
No
Cowboys
victory,
headed?
boy.
It's a moral victory.
Yeah,
It wasn't
we'll
a
take
loss.
it. We'll take it.
Hey, look, George Pickens, wide receiver 2. Dak Prescott, QB1. What more do we want?
Jake
What more do we
Ferg,
need?
tight end 3. Javonte Williams, right outside the top 12. I mean, this offense is just great for all things fan. Doesn't matter who's out there. Doesn't matter who's on the line. Defense is ass. We know that. We know it's a get-right spot for most players, but that neither here nor there. Neither here or there, Jay Rich. Where the people at? We're yapping. We got to acknowledge the folks. Who's in the building this morning? I see Luke in the building, and he is you're going to have some fun talking about the coaches today, Jay Rich. He's got Fire Callahan on the
How long have I been
chat.
saying it, right?
You have not liked that Callahan for some time, Jay Rich. You have not liked that Callahan for some time. Ike is saying the defense is still pathetic. Yes, we know that, Ike. We know the defense ain't no good, but we're trying to score some fantasy points here, right? We're just, that's all we're worried about right now, Ike. Offense is going to be all right. Offense is going to be all right. GMCP, to you, Steven. We got the Eagles 4-0. We're going to talk about Philly. A week after I said don't start nobody, Jay Rich. They go off in week 3, and then it was week 4. I was just a week too early. I'm never wrong. I'm just early. I'm never wrong. I'm just a little earlier, maybe sometimes a little bit late, Jay Rich. But let's talk about the injury heard around the world real quick, man, and what this means for us. You kind of put my feet to the fire last week, Jay Rich. You kind of put my feet to the fire. We were doing a Would You Rather segment, and it popped up. And you were like, would you rather Odunze or Malik Nabers? And I went and watched that piece again. And I was like, it's tough. But right now, where it stands, dynasty-wise, I'm still taking Malik Nabers. Well, we saw on Sunday, Malik Nabers confirmed. They confirmed it before the game was even over, Jay Rich.
Yep.
Torn ACL for Giant star wide receiver Malik Nabers, man. I text my dog. I told him, hey, praying for you. Godspeed. You're going to get back on the field. You're going to be all right. And I let him know. I said, hey, we're going to talk about this on Wake Up. And we're going to do this segment. I told him, I said, hey, we're going to do this segment. Would you rather? And there may be some players picked ahead of you, but no, it's no disrespect, right? It's just, I told him this dynasty game, Jay Rich, is fickle. These people are fickle. So they want to make some moves. Got people like Scott Connor. Shout out to Scott Connor. Already selling them any second. Get out. Any second. Get out. Get out of that Malik Nabers. But Jay, talk about the injury, the ACL tear. This just sucks, right?
Yeah, it really sucks. I mean, I'm sure we'll get into the Giants game a little bit because it was obviously a massive victory for them. Jaxson Dart's first start. And, you see kind of the memes come out like, what was it to get Jaxson Dart on the field? And it's like, well, it costs everything, right? Because it costs Malik Nabers, their number 1 receiver, his top target. This is a team that, for better or worse, had a bit more juice with Jaxson Dart under center. Malik Nabers is going to be a massive part of that, and now he's going to be out for the season. And thankfully for us, it's only end of September, so hopefully he can make a full recovery come next season. But it sucks, man. This is wide receiver 3 in Dynasty right now. This is a player that we all thought could be the next Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, based off what he did last season. Record-breaking season in terms of rookie receptions at the wide receiver position. Great outlook going forward with Jaxson Dart potentially and Brian Daboll. But yeah, Malik's me out for the year, man. Really, really sucks. Won't see him until next season.
Yeah, that just what do you think? What do you? I wrote a piece last night, instant reactions piece for Yahoo, and I didn't talk about Nabers' ACL tear, but I started thinking about who's it really good for, right? I don't know if it's any true boost to another wide receiver, Jay. I just think that it's going to be a lot of Cam Skattebo. I mean, the dude touched the ball 27 times, which I believe is second for offensive touches from the running back position on the week. So I don't think Wan'Dale Robinson is going to slide into that role. I don't believe it's going to be a Darius Slayton. I just think it's just going to be good for Skattebo. Like, that's who I think the big beneficiary to this injury is going to be. So I just want to ask you, man, Dynasty fantasy football, not redraft, not NFL team scheme-wise, 15 years down the line. But in right now, I'm going to flip the script on you, Jay. I'm not going to go super low. I'm just going to rattle off some names of some wide receivers that in Dynasty, would you rather, hang on to Malik Nabers, or would you rather trade for this player? Move your Nabers, and I still think his value is still very high. Like the Dynasty value for Nabers is still probably incredibly high. I'm just looking at KTC because it's just an aggregate of a bunch of stuff that people use and like. And right now, Malik Nabers, wide receiver 3. It's Jamar Chase. It's Justin Jefferson. It's Malik Nabers. You vibing with me, Jay?
Yes, sir.
All right. So right now in Dynasty, would you rather have, and these should be pretty easy, I think, Malik Nabers or Puka Nacua?
Puka Nacua.
Malik Nabers or Amon-Ra St. Brown?
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Malik Nabers or CeeDee Lamb?
CeeDee Lamb.
All right. Let's go a little bit lower, okay? Let's go a little bit further down the pole. Would you rather have Brian Thomas Jr. or Malik Nabers?
Straight up.
However you want to answer it. Dynasty, BTJ or Malik Nabers now?
I'd be willing to actually buy Brian Thomas Jr. from Malik Nabers.
Malik Nabers or Drake London?
I'll take Drake London.
Malik Nabers, Odunze?
I'll take Odunze.
Malik Nabers or Emeka Egbuka?
I'll take Emeka Egbuka.
All right, Jay, I'm going to go a little bit lower. Brian Thomas Jr. is currently sitting at wide receiver 13. Malik Nabers or Ladd McConkey?
Got to be Nabers there. Has to be.
Nabers or Marvin Harrison Jr.?
If you could get a second, would you do it?
Would you do it?
I think I'd consider it if it was Nabers in a second. If it's just Nabers for Marv straight up, I'd still just keep Nabers.
All right, last one I'm going to ask you, Jay Rich, because we're not going to go any lower than this. Malik Nabers or Rashee Rice?
I'm tempted to say Rashee Rice there. It sounds a little crazy, though. I think you're just banking on the production this year and then him obviously coming back. Yeah, it's probably got to be Rice. This Chiefs offense still doesn't look that good, even though they looked a little bit better this week. But I'll say Rashee Rice, only because Nabers is injured, though. If Nabers was healthy, it'd easily be
We're not, if Nabers was healthy, we wouldn't even be that. We just did this last week with, him in there with Odunze. But with the ACL happening here in week 4, I've been very adamant all offseason. I don't want any player coming off of major knee surgery. I'm very, very skeptical on Rice, but the best thing that happened with him, he got suspended. So he got to heal for another month and a half after potentially having to play early. So I feel a little better about him, but I've been very anti Brandon Ayuk. Reports are he's, in quotes, nowhere close to being on the field. We talked about that on Friday. John Lynch comments. I just have not wanted, even Chris Godwin was on the field yesterday. He looked fine, but it doesn't look like he's going to overtake Emeka Egbuka. So what are your just expectations for Nabers' availability to start 2026? Like, it sucks, right? It kind of sucks.
It does. It definitely sucks. I know it's going to be easy to say, fade Nabers, all that kind of stuff. I mean, if everything comes back clean, which we won't know until it comes about, right, next offseason, it's a 9-month recovery, right, with a bit of a ramp-up period. And so to think about him 12 months from now, he'll probably be good for week 5 next season. Like, I'd imagine the year out from his ACL surgery will probably be okay. Does it help? He's only 22 years old. Sure, right? He's not Chris Godwin's age, not as many miles on himself. And maybe this helps his toe heal finally and some of his other injuries he's been having over the course of his career so far. But yeah, it's tough, right? It's a risk you always take. And it's the risk that we always run when star receivers get hurt is what is that timeline and how long should you wait? For me, though, with what I expect from this Giants offense, it's probably a risk I'd be willing to take, though, with Malik Nabers. I think the upside is just worth it for him.
Okay. All right, Jay. Well, let's get into the games. Any other big injury news items that we missed over from Sunday? Big injury news items. I know Jaylen Warren didn't play. We'll get to the Chiefs, talk about Xavier Worthy making it through the game, but I know that was like the injury heard around the NFL world yesterday. Any other major concerning injuries? I know like Jalen Ramsey pulled a hamstring in the game. I think there was another guy that kind of got banged up. Addison still getting hawked down by that Peyton Wilson. Hey, I saw a stat that Peyton Wilson reached the fastest time ever recorded by a damn linebacker when he ran down Jordan Addison. Yeah, over 22 miles per hour. But I don't think we missed any other major injury news pieces. Who do we have?
So Ricky Pearsall might have a PCL injury and may go on IR. So we'll see. 49er strikes again, another injury there. Lamar Jackson update on his hamstring. That's the other big one that we didn't. Again, we'll kind of talk about it. Sort of talk about when we get to the game.
Was that hammy really hurt, or was sometimes coach used to say that the only thing hurt is that pride. It ain't no injury. Was it? I mean, Cooper Rush came in early. I don't know, Jay. Right?
And then we do have to see about the status of Joe Alt is a big one.
Yes.
It's not a fantasy football one, but it's a big one. It didn't affect Omar Hampton, though. And then apparently Cedric Tillman suffered a hamstring injury, and then Darnell Mooney, the same thing, hamstring injury as well. So we'll see the status of those two guys. But yeah, those are kind of the main ones. And I did want to wrap up the Giants stuff. So Theo Johnson was the guy that had a 30% target share when Nabers went out, along with Wan'Dale Robinson. So those are two main beneficiaries when Malik Nabers went out for the New York Football Giants. Makes sense. Short depth of target. The chemistry was there with Jaxson Dart in preseason as well, so kind of makes sense there.
All right, Jay Rich, well, let's talk about the Sunday night thriller, the second highest scoring game to end in a tie in NFL history, 40-40 club. Man, Cowboys, Packers, 40-40 tie game. Jay Rich, tie game. I'll take it because the vibes, especially, people in the Discord tagging me after the Packers scored. Ray, hope Ray's okay. Wellness check on OGQ. Hey, I'm alive and well, baby. I'm alive and well. The Cowboys tied this one 40-40 versus the Packers. Jay Rich, going into the fourth, it was just like, man, Dallas is about to lose this, and they did everything to stay in this game. All the hype. I was concerned. I was very nervous and concerned. And what I'll tell you, I said, I bet you the game plan is do not let Micah Parsons wreck this game. And for 4 quarters, he kind of did not do much of anything. Jay Rich, I mean, he was out there holding his back. You kind of saw a little pouty Micah out there at times. Got close to getting to Dak Prescott a little bit, and then damn overtime. I don't know if that was really I don't know if that was a sack or not, but they credit him with the sack, Jay Rich. And at the time, I'm like, no big. But that might have been the game-saving tackle right there, because Dak was going to walk in for a touchdown. But just from an offensive standpoint, let's start with I was going to say the winning team, but let's start with the Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love, 337, 3 touchdowns from Jordan Love. Not 1, not 2, but 3 of them to Romeo Doubs, who, if I told you Romeo Doubs was going to have 3 touchdown passes and still not lead Green Bay in receiving, you wouldn't believe me. But 6 for 58, very respectable Romeo Doubs numbers, but 3 touchdowns for him, 2 touchdowns for Josh Jacobs, both on the ground. 22 damn carries. I mean, he just looks like a tank. He looks like a very big running back running with bad intentions, Jay Rich. And then Matthew Golden. This was the breakout game. We were like, Golden breakout, catches the 40-something yarder early. I'm like, here we go, baby. Here we go. And kind of fizzled out. He finished 5 for 58, so he didn't kill you in the receiving game. Got you 10 points, half PPR, not as much. But offensively for the Packers, what are your thoughts here? They said Josh Jacobs had tweaked his knee. He was in there stampeded over Dallas towards the end as well. Emmanuel Wilson did get some more run towards OT, but I'm not really overly concerned. You know Josh Jacobs, every year he hits that point in the season where he no longer practices, and we just got that. We got Jacobs will not practice again for the entirety of the season. He'll be on the injury report every week, no practice, and he'll suit up on Sunday and be a stud. Talk about Green Bay, what they did offensively in this one, Jay.
Well, I think they got kind of overmatched in this matchup, honestly, Ray. Like, this is an offense that we expected a lot of big things out of. You know, Jordan Love's stat line looks good. 31 for 43, 337, 3 touchdowns, 7.8 an attempt. Like, only took 1 sack. Ran the ball fairly effectively when he needed to as well. Just felt a little lackluster. Once again, like, we know that Green Bay has a very high-flying offense in terms of what the ceiling could be. Now, Jaden Reed being out is a big factor, and, you know, Matthew Golden still acclimating a little bit is definitely a factor as well. They're a very young team, and we almost kind of forget that when we talk about the Packers, because the Packers have been talked about as one of the best teams in football for a while, but offensively, they're still a work in progress. Like, LaFleur is still trying to figure out how to best utilize all these players, and then you look at this game, I mean, you got, 6 guys with 3 receptions in this game on this team. That tells us absolutely nothing for fantasy purposes. It tells us anyone get the ball any given week. It's all depending on the game plan and who the game script is going to that game. Now, it just so happened it went to Romeo Doubs this week, and they schemed up some plays for him to get open. But going forward, I don't think we learned anything new. The only real takeaway for me, honestly, is Emmanuel Wilson. Not that Emmanuel Wilson is like a phenomenal player, but to go 8 for 44 and to catch 3 passes for 37 yards, like, that's not nothing in fantasy football as a handcuff to Josh Jacobs. We know he's the bell cow. You're not planning on starting him. But clearly he's a serviceable enough player that should he get opportunity at any point during this season, you'd be wanting to start him because of how good this offense is. I think the biggest takeaway for me is, what are your thoughts on Jordan Love? Like, I feel like this is another game where we thought Jordan Love could have a big performance, and he sort of did, sort of didn't. But what are your thoughts on Jordan Love going forward?
He did. It feels like the offense, there is no true go-to guy at receiver, so it makes you feel like the quarterback isn't doing his job, because there's not one guy that's going off for 170 yards. He throws to whomever's open.
Hierarchy, right?
It just, whoever's open, whoever the play is designed for. It does seem like there's some growing chemistry and trust with Romeo Doubs, one of these Green Bay wide receivers. I mean, Wicks did up until overtime. I think he had 1 target, no receptions. So yeah. It's an offense where we kind of want somebody to be the guy, whether it's running through the tight end. We thought after week 1, this offense was going to flow through Tucker Kraft. He's out there. He's very good, but it's just the way LaFleur calls games. Jordan Love is going to hit whomever's open. I think he's a good quarterback, man. I think he's a good quarterback. When you look at the final stat line, he was fine in this game. Jordan Love was not the problem. This damn Green Bay defense that was flying high after weeks 1 and 2, back-to-back weeks where they have not looked good. I mean, ground game, through the air, they have not looked good. That was the bigger problem for me from the Green Bay Packers side of the ball. Moving to Dallas, Javonte Williams, dude, I mean, he's a bell cow. He can just handle all the work. It's never going to look overly pretty, but another touchdown for Javonte Williams. I believe he's top 5, top 10 in the NFL in rushing yards right now. He catches a few passes out of the backfield. Miles Sanders got banged up. The ankle injury didn't look too good. So we'll see what happens. They put Hunter Lipke in there to spell him to a degree, get a few touches. But maybe this is an opportunity where rookie running back who has been in a healthy scratch throughout the first quarter of the season, maybe he's more involved in the offense moving forward. And I'm talking about Jaden Blue out of Texas. But the big time thing that happened was we talked about Pickens needing to step up. I'm looking at him last week, and I was like, man, really good number 2. What was the name that we landed on? We said T. Higgins, right? Yeah. When Jamar Chase is out, he's capable of having these kind of big blow-up games, and he did it. He did it last night, and people all talk about you doubted him. I just said, look, he looks like he's probably just a really, really good number 2 that could step up. I was a little disappointed in GP that first game without, CeeDee Lamb, and I know it happened in the game. Dropped the pass, which led to an interception. How could you not be disappointed? But nobody, and I mean nobody, was more in on George Pickens than me. And you wanted to see shit like this, right? When they needed it, when they needed a play, they went to number 3. And he worked down the field. He worked over the middle of the field. He got another end zone target that he couldn't quite corral. But this is what you want to see. When Lamb is out, step up and show that you can be a true go-to guy. And I'm hoping this confidence boost, this will continue to just help this offense, help this passing attack move forward. If you've got George Pickens, I told you, he hadn't been a bust. He hasn't been a bust at all. Just you want to see this right here. And he delivered in a major way in primetime, Jay.
Yeah, and I think the big thing here is that this doesn't just build confidence for Pickens now. It also builds confidence in him and Dak's relationship when CeeDee Lamb is back. When you see George Pickens doing this, you can't just attach your entire game plan to stopping CeeDee Lamb. That's just not going to be successful in terms of a defense because George Pickens is clearly capable of performances like this. Now, again, did we expect it against this Packers defense? No, but I think you saw the budding chemistry between Dak Prescott and George Pickens in just the trust that he showed him to go up and make a play that you don't always see from quarterbacks and receivers in their 4th game of the season, especially when they're forming a new relationship. But in a lot of ways, Dak was just on fire in this game. And this is a game where people will give Dak his flowers, but he never gets this level of respect on a consistent basis. They'll always say Matthew Stafford is better than him. They'll always say Justin Herbert's better than him. But this dude came out and he dealed against a very, very good defense, and he had a 94.4 QBR. He was QB1 in fantasy on the week. He was dealing, and it sucks because it really did feel like he was going to drive his team down the field to score a touchdown in overtime, and it didn't happen because of how well they were playing offensively. And like you said, it was literally the speed of Micah Parsons that stopped them from winning that game and scoring that touchdown. But Dak was phenomenal in this game, and this is where, everyone who's talking about starting him all year in fantasy, this is what you want to see. And if he can do this without CeeDee Lamb, imagine what he can do with CeeDee Lamb. And
that's an awesome quarterback. You could talk about what he does in the playoffs, all of this stuff, but you just line him up and you tell him to play QB. I mean, he was making lemonade out of lemons. I mean, he's getting Ryan Flournoy the ball. Jake Ferguson is I don't know how he became the new Jason Witten this early in his career, but there's little to no yak. 7 catches, 40 yards, but he did score a touchdown. Reliable hands there. Devontae Turpin getting involved in the offensive side of the ball. And like you say, hopefully this confidence and the continuity continues when CeeDee gets on the field because it will open up things for the offense if Dak can spread the ball around and get Pickens involved along with CeeDee. I was going to say big win for the Dallas Cowboys, but honestly, you know who this was a more disappointing loss/tie for the Packers. This is one
way more devastating. This is going to hurt them in the playoff race.
And if anything, I wonder what this actually really does help the draft pick for Dallas that they got from Green Bay. So I'll take the tie. I'll take the tie. I thought the Cowboys showed up. They played well on primetime. It was a late night for us all. But this was more kind of damning on Green Bay, Jay Rich. But I do want to move on to another game and talk about the Chargers and the Giants game a little bit more in depth because we did get to finally see rookie quarterback Jaxson Dart lead this Giants team. What an upset. My goodness. I
didn't have this one.
Nobody had this one at home. The Giants got out kind of early, and I was like, just give it some time. The Chargers are going to figure this thing out, and they did not. Jay Rich, they never figured it out. They could not stop the Giants on fourth down. They've got Jaxson Dart wrapped up, and boom, he's running through. He's looking like damn Marshawn Lynch, bouncing off of tackles, hitting the outside. Now, you look at the final numbers for Dart. 13 for 20, 111 yards, 1 touchdown. It was one of those right inside, like the 2-yard line shovel passes to Theo Johnson. He did score a rushing touchdown, which was positive to see. We know he can run around. 10 for 54. Yep. He got in the zone for a touchdown. Skattebo, 25 carries, 25 carries.
Crazy.
Anytime you're over 20, you get the cow sounder. You are a bell cow on the week. 79 yards, not great. And then he wasn't really involved in the receiving game this week, which I feel like maybe that could be part of it because Dart will run. Dart is going to take off and run. If it ain't there, they're doing design runs for him. It looked like an Ole Miss offense. Yeah. Other side of the ball, Justin Herbert, not good. Not good for Herbert. You talked about it. They lost Joe Alt early. I don't know how long he's out for, but this isn't good. Jay Rich, Joe Alt being out isn't good. Herbert, 23 for 41, 203, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Omarion Hampton, Jay Rich.
Ooh,
Hampton,
looking good.
Them Hampton takes, they're coming back straight. They're alive and well. Jay Rich, 12 carries, 128 yards, scored a touchdown in this game, and he caught 5 more passes for 37 yards. Omarion Hampton locked and loaded, Jay Rich, as we move forward. So talk about the big takeaways in this game, and Quentin Johnston, 13 targets. Are you ready? Are you ready right here on this show today, the year our Lord and Savior, 2025, September 29th, to say that Quentin Johnston is this team's wide receiver 1? It ain't Ladd McConkey. It's not Keenan Allen. It doesn't matter what you thought 2 years ago. It doesn't matter what you thought his rookie season. Right now in 2025, is this LA's number 1 receiver? Rest away.
I think it's extremely hard to argue against that take. In a game script where they were behind, it felt like, for the majority of the game, they were trying to play catch up, and Quentin Johnston not only outgains every other receiver by over double, has almost double every other receiver in receptions, and he doubles nearly every receiver other than Keenan Allen in targets. It's hard to see it any other way. Like, it really is hard to see it any other way. Ladd, I don't know what's going on. He was dropping passes early. Seems like the confidence is pretty low. Seems like he's lost a bit of a role in this offense. Doesn't seem to be doing too well. Keenan Allen's kind of going to do his thing. Again, he struggled a little bit in this game as well. But the story here is really Justin Herbert. Herbert wasn't great in this game. The Giants generated a ton of pressure, and obviously losing Joe Alt is a massive factor here after already losing Rashawn Slater, so you've now lost your top 2 left tackles on the season, at least for part of the year. But he just couldn't do anything, and this is the biggest problem with this team. And this is where all the stats that were talked about when Rashawn Slater went down about how much the Chargers offense struggled without him came to fruition in this game. The Giants' defensive line, we expected big things from them, and they really delivered in this game. They generated a ton of pressure, got Herbert off his spot, and I believe Abdul Carter led all pass rushers in pass rush win rate this week, which is great to see from the 3rd overall pick. But it's just he could not get comfortable back there. There wasn't any time.
No.
And I think plays just weren't able to develop. And it's crazy to think that Hampton was still a top running back, given he only had 12 carries and they felt like they were down pretty much the entire game. It's a real credit to this Giants defense, and maybe they're figuring some things out. Got a massive victory now heading into New Orleans next week. I'm not going to say the Giants are back, but this is kind of the Giants team we expected to see. Jaxson Dart did his thing with Cam Skattebo. Offensively, they didn't do a ton, but they did enough to win, and the defense is what kept them in the game, generated a ton of pressure, and made things hell for opposing quarterbacks. And I think that's what we're going to see from the Giants going forward.
Austin nailed it. Austin said, shout out to Austin, appreciate you watching the show, big dog. He said QJ's skill set works really well with Herbert. It does. Like, he's huge, and he's fast, and he's figured out how to catch the ball, Jay Rich. And, like, it's not an accident for him to go out there and earn 13 targets. You earn those.
No.
Yes, there are certain schemes that they just try to get you some touches, but he's earning. I said it before, people are going to be shocked out of their mind that they're going to extend this dude and give him a big contract. If he continues this play, how can you not? He's got freakish size, athletic ability, and it works well with Justin Herbert, Jay. It works very well. A lot of people are like, I hate that this is happening. This is a disgusting development. It's football. And a lot of people, they keep harping back to his rookie season and the drops and the inconsistencies his rookie season under Brandon Staley. But they fail to ignore the fact that he improved drastically in year 2 from year 1. He improved drastically from his rookie year, and it didn't equate to massive fantasy numbers. And a little bit of that was overshadowed by how good Ladd was as a rookie. But this is, he's climbing up the ladder. It's been a slow burn. But now here in year 3, I've made content enough, I've consumed content enough to where it took receivers a couple of years to really break out. You weren't just getting Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson off the rip, right? I remember DJ Moore's rookie year. He had like 800-something yards, and people were excited going into year 2. How long did we wait for that DJ Moore to finally break out? Brandon Ayuk, but it's because of the failed past experiences of TCU wide receivers that absolutely hurt the perception and the sentiment of Quentin Johnston, because of Josh Doxson, because of Jalen Reagor, because of just the failed TCU receivers. You're like, all right, this guy wasn't very good as a rookie, so he's got to stay. He's good, Jay Rich, right now. Would you rather keep, trade, cut, has Quentin Johnston as wide receiver 31 in Dynasty? Jay Rich, wide receiver 31. I'm going to give you some names. Would you rather have Quentin Johnston or Matthew Golden?
Quentin Johnston.
Quentin Johnston or Chris Olave?
Quentin Johnston.
Quentin Johnston or Travis Hunter?
Quentin Johnston.
Quentin Johnston or Ricky Pearsall?
Ooh. I guess Quentin Johnston.
Pearsall is at wide receiver 20. I'll give you a couple of additional names. Why is Ladd McConkey wide receiver 15 and Quentin Johnston wide receiver 31?
I mean, he won't be for long. He won't be for long.
I'm just telling you where they're at. I can't tell you where he's going to be. I can just tell you where he's at now.
Yeah.
Jay Rich, let's put fire to asshole, Jay Rich. In Dynasty, Quentin Johnston or AJ Brown?
Oh my God.
Talk me through it, Jay Rich. Talk me through it.
It's got to be Quentin Johnston. And the only reason why I say that, honestly, is because where is AJ Brown's value going? It's only going down. It's only been going down for multiple seasons. I'm not here to say that QJ is going to be a top 12 receiver anytime soon, because he's got his own stink. He'll never shake.
You're not saying that.
But you talked about how Jalen Hurts had a better game. He still only threw for 130 yards and 2 touchdowns. They just do not seem to want to throw the football. And AJ Brown seems frustrated. And all the Chargers want to do is throw the football. So I will happily take Quentin Johnston.
Why are we, and we saw it in that fourth quarter, Quentin Johnston or Marvin Harrison Jr.?
It just depends on which one you prefer. I still believe that Marv can be an elite asset, but not necessarily an elite player, right? So it's balancing whether you want to bet on the actual production in Quentin Johnston, who may produce higher than Marvin Harrison, but Marvin Harrison Jr. still has the allure and the value upside that I think that QJ doesn't quite have.
I really want to know, chat, if you're saying AJ Brown, right? And I don't think Jay Rich ain't saying he's a better physical talent. He's going to be the number 5 wide receiver in fantasy football, but in Dynasty, who wants AJ Brown? Like
No one.
Like, and people might be like, "Oh, buy low." And then if I say, "Okay, send me a first and a player," I'm not doing that.
Exactly.
Give him to me for a second. Fuck no, not trading him to you for a second. Like, stop.
You're not trading QJ for a second either. There's no way.
I mean, in Dynasty, who would you rather, AJ Brown in Philly or what you've seen from QJ? It's only 4 games in, but Jay Rich, is it that wild to be like, I want Quentin Johnston?
No. Quentin Johnston had more yards probably in this game than AJ Brown pretty much had the entire season. And he's done that almost every game the entire season. Like, This is a player in Quentin Johnston who has had a minimum of 7 targets in every game so far this year. He's had a minimum of 70 yards receiving in every game this year. And he has 4 touchdowns in 4 weeks. He only has 1 week where he didn't score a touchdown. Like, that's basically Romo Odunze. Like, everything we talk about with Romo Odunze, everything we talk about with players that score touchdowns every week, like, that's what Quentin Johnston's doing. So, yeah, like, you should want this guy. He's been very, very good. And I don't know when it's going to stop. I don't know if it's going to stop, but it doesn't seem like it's going to stop anytime soon.
Jay Rich, speaking of stopping, man, I was very wrong. I thought the Baltimore Ravens were going to walk into Arrowhead Stadium as road favorites. Get it done. Lamar, the King, Kyle Hamilton, this defense.
Oh, yeah, that defense.
Jay Rich, man. Jay Rich. We got a problem in Baltimore.
Oh,
we got a big problem.
Now we have a problem.
You know, we got to get Lamar some help. Offensive line is a problem. Hey, listen to me. Hold on. No. Come, get over here. Come here.
Okay.
Hold on.
So we're 4 weeks in, and Lamar needs help. We're only 4 weeks in, and Lamar already needs help. Okay, continue.
Sit in your chair and let me finish. Offensive, I don't care how good you are. The O-line is a problem, Jay Rich. You got to get him some protection help, okay? The defense is a problem. You can't have Lamar doing it all, Jay. You got to get him some help. I continue to say this, man. You got to surround him with the right weaponry. DeAndre Hopkins isn't the right weaponry, okay? Mark Andrews, I know it was a blast from the past. I know Zay feels good out there. We got to protect Lamar. This is unacceptable what is happening to this offense. You got my Derrick Henry looking bad. Jay, they've got to protect him. They have to run the ball. Did you hear John Harbaugh? I mean, I am full-blown red panic button. He said we're just not a good team. John Harbaugh, the tone sounded like the vibes are not good, Jay Rich. When the coach is saying we're not a good team, the Ravens are 1-3. I don't know what to say about Baltimore, man. Jay Rich, do we have a Derrick Henry problem? What is going on? What the hell is going on? Half PPR, he was running back 22 coming out of week 3. I'm like, all right, let's get it back. Running back 34, half PPR in the week, or maybe a little lower now after Sunday Night Football. I'm very concerned about this Ravens team, Jay Rich.
Yeah, so I don't know if we have a Derrick Henry problem quite yet, but we definitely have a game script, game flow issue when it comes to the Baltimore Ravens, right? Derrick Henry is a player that's predicated on volume and touchdowns. When you are consistently down in games and consistently in negative game scripts, this team was down 20-10 in the first half, and they were down 30-13 by the end of the third quarter. Right? That's not going to work for Derrick Henry. That's why he only had 8 carries. He still averaged 5.3 a carry. Didn't fumble this week as far as I can see. Yep. Only Lamar fumbled. So that's good for Derrick Henry. He didn't fumble in a 4th straight game. But when this Ravens defense is consistently allowing 30-plus points, they've now still allowed the most points in the NFL so far through 4 weeks. It just doesn't work. Like, this Ravens team is not built to play from behind. And I think that's kind of surprising with how many points they score, but it certainly seems like that's the case. Once they get down, it's very difficult for them to climb back in. And it's kind of the same thing we've seen all season from them. When it was against the Bills, things started to snowball. They had a stranglehold on the game. They probably should have won it. Things went wrong. And when things started going wrong, they just couldn't right the ship and ultimately come through and win the game. And the exact same thing happened just last week, again, against Detroit. So now it's like, okay, Kansas City, big game, huge rivalry. They're finally they have the best team they've had in years. They're going to get over Kansas City, who's been struggling offensively. Xavier Worthy comes back and he has almost 100 yards, or he has over 100 yards.
Hey, where's Keegan at? What did I say, Jay Rich? What did I say? I'm firing up that Worthy, right?
I told you. I was with you. I was
fired his ass right on up.
Yeah.
He looked good.
I was with you this week. Led the team in rushing and receiving, right?
They needed a running back. Who knew? It was Xavier Worthy playing with a shredded labrum that would provide the spark offensively in the ground game for Kansas City. But yeah, Worthy was good. We said Thornton. We said Thornton would score again.
We did say
Jay Rich,
Thornton.
We called Thornton.
Yep.
He got you 1 catch, 10 yards, and he scored a touchdown for Thornton. But honestly, Jay, are you truly, because I'm not there. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm not. Are you truly concerned about Derrick Henry? There was another 4th and 1 where he wasn't on the field. Or do you think they're not running the ball? Like, this is just not a good football team right now. However you want to slice it, just not a good football team right now.
I think the football team is bad, for sure. They're definitely playing a lot of negative game scripts, which doesn't help. So let me just ask you real quickly. They play the Texans this week, right? It's at home.
Get right spot.
Do you think this is a get right spot for Derrick Henry against the Texans?
I think so.
Again,
I think so.
Probably should be in a positive game script, but we'll see. Like, the offense in Houston did look better. They played Tennessee, so let's not give them too much credit. But it looks better, right? It looked better, and I think they'll be able to score on this Ravens team, so we'll see if they have a positive game script there. Then he has the Rams at home. That's not going to be a positive game script. If they play the way they've been playing, the Rams are going to shred them, and they'll be in a negative game script the whole game. The Bears would be an interesting matchup. That's in a couple weeks. Can Derrick Henry do stuff in that game? For sure. Will there be a ton of carries? Depends on how the game goes. Dolphins, Vikings, it's not too bad for the next few weeks for them. I'm not overly concerned with Henry, but these negative game scripts can't continue to happen because it's not going to work out for Henry if that's the case. And I think that's the problem. So it's not that I'm concerned about Henry, but I am definitely concerned about this offense. Because Lamar can't miss time. Like, he just can't. If he misses time, this team's dead. Like, there's nothing. We saw Cooper Rush play. I didn't even know Cooper Rush was on the Ravens. That's how bad it was for the Ravens this week. Like, it was about as bad of a performance as they've probably had all season. The Bills' performance was bad. The Lions' performance was bad. This was probably the worst one we've seen from them all year long. Because they just laid down and died against the Chiefs.
Yeah, they looked overmatched.
Like they looked dog out there.
They had no answer. And Mahomes, he was 25 for 37, 270, 4 touchdowns. Again, Worthy led the team in rushing. Pacheco saw his work scaled back. Kareem Hunt, 13 for 34. Brashard Smith looks fast. They just don't give him the ball. They just don't give it to him. They just don't give it to him. He looked good. He caught like a dump off play. I'm thinking, oh shit, they're going to use him a little bit more. Nope. No, sir. We're just going to keep giving the ball to 29. Kareem Hunt out there running like me. Worthy looked great, Jay Rich.
He did.
5 for 83. He was fast. He was good in the routes. This was a good development, right? This was a good development. And I do still like Tyquan Thornton as a deep sleeper, but his role was definitely scaled back.
Seems like it's over.
He got the touch. Hey, we flirted one more time. We went back and we tested, we stuck our finger in that cookie jar one more time, right? A little sweet treat. But now you got to stop. You got to leave it alone. You can't triple back. Sometimes you could double back. You can never triple back. You're doing too much at that point. So, Tyquan Thornton on the shelf for the foreseeable future. Knock on wood that we don't have to use him again because of Xavier Worthy. But he looked good. Are you confident moving forward with him in the starting lineup now?
With Worthy? Oh, yeah.
You good?
Yeah. It does seem like, the touches may be less than we're hoping for due to the injury, but I mean, they found a lot of creative ways to use him, and he was very effective in this game. So more than happy to start Worthy going forward.
All right, Jay Rich, let's go a quick hitter, and then we'll go to break real quick. Quick hitter, Pittsburgh, Minnesota. That was the early morning game in Dublin. Carson Wentz, I mean, dude, he took a beating. He took a beating. The offensive line got wrecked in that game. It's like McCarthy is missing all of this beat up time right now. He just gets to not have to get into this fire right now that the Minnesota Vikings are in offensive line. Carson Wentz 250. Jefferson, remember a little bit. Jefferson was great. 10 for 126. Didn't score, but he was the guy. Addison came right back. Jay, how'd he get ran down? He got hawked down by Peyton Wilson, who was rolling right there, but Addison should have scored, tackled at the damn 1-inch yard line. He had 4 for 114. So I was trying to figure out who the hell number 36 was. Is this Xavier Scott? Who the hell is this guy out there catching touchdown passes in the game? On the Pittsburgh side of the ball, DK Metcalf, that first quarter was explosive. Jay Rich, Metcalf was looking like the alpha that they've paid him to be. Aaron Rodgers threw for 200, touchdown. No Jaylen Warren. It was, that he popped up on the injury report midweek. He did not play. It was all Kenneth Gainwell, but Caleb Johnson, the rookie, did play. They activated him. They had him on the field. He was fine. Jay Rich, he held on to the ball, Caleb Johnson was fine. So for those of you out there very sad about your Caleb Johnson shares, it's not over, but it's kind of a little bit over because I think Kenneth Gainwell, he's going to earn role. They need another running back, right? They need somebody else with Jaylen Warren. So to find a Gainwell who was effective, led the team in receptions, almost 100 yards on the ground, a touchdown for Kenneth Gainwell, multiple touchdowns for Gainwell. Just your takeaways from this game. Jordan Mason didn't have the big blow-up game that we thought he could have. What were your takeaways from this early morning game?
So the biggest one for me was Justin Jefferson. Seems like he's back, right? He had a big game, got targeted early, often. I brought it to you last week. I'm a little concerned just from what we've seen. He hasn't been getting hyper-targeted despite being clearly the best receiver there. It seemed like maybe Addison kind of freed things up for him a little bit. Kind of surprising, honestly. Wentz was both good and bad. For fantasy purposes, he was fine, especially for the pass catchers. But the biggest takeaway is Pittsburgh because, for the life of me, I have no idea what this team is. This team,
they're 3-1.
Seems like
they're 3-1.
They're offensively challenged, but they do enough to win games. DK Metcalf, 80-yard touchdown. Aaron Rodgers still only had 200 yards passing in the game. They only scored 24 points. After those early scores, it felt like maybe Minnesota could mount a comeback, and it was mostly in the fourth quarter, but they ended up winning the game. The biggest turnaround, though, was the defense. This defense got after Carson Wentz's ass. And the Minnesota Vikings offensive line is banged up, but 6.5 sacks, 14 QB hits from this Pittsburgh Steelers team.
Oh, Wentz was getting beat up.
That's the scary part with Pittsburgh, is that, yes, the offense has kind of sputtered and the defense was struggling, but they did not struggle in this game. They dominated this contest. They're going into the bye this week, so they won't be back until week 6. But maybe this Pittsburgh Steelers team is better than we thought they were going to be. And offensively, they're still a bit of a work in progress as far as I'm concerned, but it seems like they're getting better. But defensively, if they continue to play like this, you are not going to want to play many fantasy players against this defense because they are very opportunistic and they're second in the NFL in turnovers.
Gainwell, how you feel about Kenny G?
I mean, he looked better than Jaylen Warren, right?
Did he?
I think he did, yeah. I think he looked better. Like, from the games we've seen of Jaylen Warren so far, this, again, is it the best test? I think Minnesota's defense is pretty good. I think their run defense is solid. I don't think the offensive line for Pittsburgh is that good. Right? I think Kenneth Gainwell played pretty well. And what's crazy is he's second on the team in receiving.
I know.
So, do you think there's a problem for Jaylen Warren now? Like, he was the bell cow.
No. I don't think there's a problem for Warren, but I said this in my piece on Yahoo last night. I do think Gainwell, they need another running back. So,
yeah, like, it's not going to be the Warren show when Warren's back.
I think Gainwell's earned himself some more opportunity. What that looks like on a week-to-week basis, I don't know. Okay, we got to go to break, Jay. It's 9 o'clock. Got to go to break, but when we get back, you got some explaining to do because he ain't the Mountain West B-Rob. I think we got to see it, Jay Rich. You got some explaining to do when we get back off a break. Hit the thumbs up button, like the stream, subscribe to the channel if you're new. We'll be right back after the break. GMGP, welcome back to the show. This is Wake Up with Ray and Jay every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, right here on the channel. Hit the thumbs up button, like, comment, subscribe. Subscribe to the podcast feed. Check out DDFFB. That's all you got to type into YouTube. Fantasy football content over there. And if you're a member on DDFFB, Scott Connor and I will be going live today, I think around midday, around lunchtime, to go over the Trinity report. So we'll go through all things usage, all things wide receivers, best fantasy football tracker out there for wide receiver usage visualization. Go to DD Fantasy Football. DraftKings.com to check that out and join the squad. It's almost the first of the month, so I know all of y'all asses is about to get paid. Get in the Discord. $7 a month, get you in the cord. We do bonus shows over there. Shane, Scott, interact with the crew, or upgrade the Heisman so you can talk to us damn near every single day. Jay Rich, the people were tagging you quite a bit, man. The people were tagging you about this Ashton Jeanty.
I don't know why.
We saw Ashton Jeanty go off, Jay Rich, in a game in which I said this is the get right spot. My bold call on the week, I said Ashton Jeanty is going to deliver and give us top 3 running back production. And by golly, he did it. 21 carries. You know you get what when you go over 20? Bell cow status for Ashton Jeanty. 21 for 138 and a little involvement in the receiving game. He only had 2 catches, Jay Rich. Only had 17 yards, Jay Rich. But he scored 2 touchdowns, baby. 2 touchdowns through the air, 1 on the ground. Good for the top dog on the week. Ashton Jeanty smashes. And what was best is on that long 64-yard run, shame on the defender. I mean, he had 2 hands around the waist and he was praying. Sliding down face to ass and he could not bring him down. Jeanty just steps out of it, missed tap, holding on for dear life, going for a ride, face all in Jeanty's backside. Jeanty says, get off me, I'm going to the end zone. This is what we wanted to see from the top 10 pick. This is what we wanted to see from the guy that led college football, broke the PFF record for missed tackles forced. This is the guy that we've been hoping to see all year, and this Bears defense is your get-right spot if you are a running back. Ashton Jeanty, Jay Rich, talk about him.
Yeah, he was great. No, he was phenomenal in this game. And this is why, in the same breath, when we talk about like where we're concerned about him, it's not because of his own individual talent, right? It's because this offensive line has struggled mightily. You looked at that big run, there was a pretty solid hole for him there, and he took full advantage. And that's where this is a player in Ashton Jeanty that when he gets opportunities like that, he is going to be able to hit home runs. And that's why you drafted him in the first round. When I make fun of him, it's not because he's a bad player. It's because his situation just absolutely sucks and he's not able to get things rolling. We talked about it even on the Wednesday show, how poorly he's been blocked for, I think the second worst in all of football. It was much better against the Bears, and it should be much better going forward, hopefully. But this is kind of what you're going to get, I think, unfortunately, when you're looking at Ashton Jeanty. Against a bad defense where the blocking can be a little bit better for him and he can make opportunities off that blocking, then yes, he will be great. But you may see some games like we've seen throughout this season that there are issues because of that blocking. And ultimately, the running back position is dependent on that offensive line to some extent, and Ashton Jeanty is going to be able to take advantage of those opportunities. But at least if you have him, you're happy now, right? Because now he's worth 3 firsts again. If you wanted to trade him, you could trade him for a haul, and he's the guy.
The salt in your tone.
What?
I could taste it.
What?
That last comment right there. Are you happy now? Are you happy now? Like the salt in that.
But why am I getting tagged? You know that we have fun on this show, and I make fun of Jeanty when he's struggling.
You do?
But yeah, I've never said sell Ashton Jeanty. I've never said don't start him. I never said anything wrong with that. I have always been consistent to say that he can be a great running back, but his offensive line is dreadful, and Geno Smith sucks, which he kind of sucked this game as well. So I get it, and people make fun of me, and that's fun.
Jay, I'm just showing the screen. I've done nothing. Geno Smith was bad. You want to come at me? He was bad. Geno was bad. Caleb was bad too. Geno was bad.
Caleb was not good, man.
I mean,
he sucks, dude. Like, I'm sorry. Caleb's not that good.
I'm just the messenger here, Jay. All I'm doing is pressing buttons and just showing the score. The Raiders lost. So anything else?
We picked the Bears.
Who did we pick? The Bears.
We both picked the Bears, and that was a
yeah. We got it. We got it done.
Another blocked field goal for the dub. Thank goodness.
Listen, I don't know why the people must have heard something that I didn't, or maybe you forgot.
I don't know, man.
Jeanty
had a good week. He had a good week. Wait, what's that? Is that 1 week? 1 good week in 4 weeks? We'll see if we can improve that going forward. You know
on the Chicago side of the ball, Jay Rich, Caleb Williams was not that great in this one. DeAndre Swift scored, but on the ground, again, not that great. Odunze, right? Like, it wasn't a monstrous performance, but 8 targets, 4 receptions, 69 yards, 1 touchdown for Odunze. Believe he scored all 4 games of the season. Cole Kmet led the team in targets. We found out that rookie tight end Colston Loveland wouldn't be on the field, so it was the Cole Kmet show. He didn't do a lot with him. And then DJ Moore just kind of there as the secondary option for the Bears. Anything to really take away from their side of the ball?
Just another lackluster performance, honestly. Again, this is what's kind of, I think, concerning for this Bears team is that, yeah, they looked great against Dallas, but I mean, the Raiders defense isn't that good, and they didn't look very good against this Raiders team. They got the win, and that's kind of all that matters for them, but I mean, no real takeaways. Odunze is still just scoring touchdowns every week, and I'll take them, but outside of that, it seems like there's nothing
Jay
really.
Rich, would you rather have that Ashton Jeanty or James Cook?
Ooh. Probably James Cook, man. James Cook's pretty good, man.
I knew it was going to be. Would you rather have Jeanty or Hampton? Jeanty or Hampton?
Are you joking? Have you seen Omarion Hampton these last 2
Jay
weeks?
Rich, dude.
Bro, the answer is so clearly Omarion Hampton. It's so clearly Omarion Hampton. He just had 128 yards on 12 carries, and Jeanty had 138 on 21. Are you telling me you're going to bet on the Raiders over the Chargers right now? Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
I need a double down sounder.
There's no way.
Okay. All right. Let's go.
Are you taking Ashton Jeanty over Hampton? I want an answer.
What would you ask?
Are you taking Jeanty or Hampton? Rest of the season.
Jeanty.
All right. Just like you picked the Tennessee Titans this week.
Let's get to that game. Tennessee, Houston. Jay Rich, let's go.
Can we skip it?
Let's quickly go to that game.
Okay,
Tennessee,
Woody Marks, 2 touchdowns. Let's move on. Ray, what are your thoughts on Woody Marks?
He's a good player. I think he's explosive. They need to use him more. 17 for 69, 1 touchdown. He's good in the receiving game. I still don't really want him handling like 17 rush attempts. I would love to see him used a little more in the receiving game, but the touchdown run, the lateral quickness, he's explosive. He's good. They need to use him more. Nick Chubb has a role to eat some innings, to take some carries, to run up the A gap, to slam it up the B gap. But when they need explosives, you got to go to Woody Marks. Tennessee is awful. This Titans team.
Did you see Cam Ward's presser?
Cam Ward said we're ass. He said we are straight booty. He said we are booty, Jay Rich, and they are. I mean,
they're awful.
Ridley.
But Cam Ward's been awful too.
Hey, we've glossed over him because we kind of know Tennessee is bad and we didn't expect much, but he's been
giving him the pass because we had no expectations.
We
This
give
team
him a
is
pass.
dreadful.
He's
Callahan
been bad.
Sucks, but he's been bad.
Sucks in Tennessee. I don't think
bad.
In Tennessee. I think Cam Ward's got a lot of talent. 10 for 26, Jay. 38% completion.
The same mistakes he made in college, he's making in the NFL.
No one is talking about like all the shit he got away with. He's developing some bad tendencies, man.
Yes, Kevin. The Titans did change play callers. Callahan gave up play calling duties this week, and it amounted to another goose egg against the Houston Texans.
Titans are not good. But yes, you are right. We can move on from this one, Jay Rich. People want to know about your boy. My part of the bet paid off. The people trusted us to put together a simple 2-pick power pick for Prize Picks. That was it. Just 2-pick parlay, Jay Rich. I said I'm taking Micah over 0.75 sacks, and damn it, he got it. It took over. He got it. I don't give a shit how it happened. You called the sack
questionable.
I don't care. It was credited as a sack. You told me and the people that Travion Henderson over 17.5 receiving yard, lock it in. Bet the mortgage, Jay Rich.
I did.
How concerned are we? And here's the thing. Drake May for fantasy is incredible. For everything else, it feels like it's just Butte, nothing. Terrible. Diggs got it going to a degree. They asked him, did you hear Diggs in his presser? Did you hear Stephon Diggs? They asked him about like his performance and how his fit in the offense is. He said like 5 out of 10. It was like, it's a work in progress, not very good. He said, I know I got some points this week, but this is He got it going. 100-yard performance for Stephon Diggs. Shout out to the father to be, the new father to be, father of many. Cardi. We're not here to talk about any of that, man. We're not here to talk about what he did to Cardi. But Jay Rich, what are we doing with it? We thought Ramondre was dead. We thought it was over for Ramondre Stevenson. Nope. 9 more totes, 38 yards. Hendo had 7. Gibson had 6. Everybody gets a rush attempt. Everybody gets a rush attempt. Travion Anderson had 14 receiving yards. How disappointing has his fantasy start been?
I think
he scored. He scored, so give him that. Like, I'm just, the volume and the usage in the offense, how problematic is it?
It's a little problematic. And so obviously I watched the Pats games like more closely than any other team. This game was just simply a blowout, man. Like it wasn't a close game. That's the biggest problem is that Trayvon Henderson, and we talked about Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry can get game script out of a game. Well, if it's a blowout, let me tell you, you're not going to see Trayvon Henderson on the field at all because his job is to catch passes and maybe run the ball here or there. The touchdown he got was just, Vrabel said, let's get this kid a touchdown. He's been playing pretty well. He's had some ups and downs. Ramondre's already hit the end zone a bunch of times. Like, let's get Hendo into the end zone. He got him into the end zone. But, the problem is that they want to go with this 3-headed monster in the backfield, and, that's just what it's going to be. Whether we like it or not, this is what it's going to be. And in a game when they're up, a shit ton in the game, there's no reason for them to not just let everyone eat. Let Gibson get some carries. Get Ramondre get some carries. Josh Dobbs took snaps in this game. That tells you the state of what happened in New England this past week. So the takeaway for Henderson is, you could start him if you want. And I did start him, actually, in a couple leagues over Breece Hall, just because I thought he could hit the end zone, right? Because that's what you're betting on, him getting in the end zone. But, yeah, he needs to have the right game script, and the Pats, for better or worse, have been very competitive. And so they haven't been forced into a pass-heavy script quite too many times or down a lot of points too many games. And so we'll see. Going forward, they got the Bills this week. So, Sunday Night Football in Buffalo. You should probably expect some Hendo in that game, right? Because they're probably going to be down in that contest. So we'll see how it is going forward. But, next after that, Saints, Titans, Browns, Falcons, not a lot of game scripts to say they're going to be down heavily in a game and they're going to need to pass to get out of it. So I think it's just a situation where, unfortunately, they want to go with that 3-headed backfield, and that's what it's going to be, and we have to live with it.
Panthers side of the ball.
Bryce Young start this week, Ray?
I think they have to. I don't think he's... I just don't think he's... I don't know if he's the quarterback of the future,
He was awful. And again, the stat line doesn't even look as bad, I think, as he played.
Yeah,
he didn't throw a ton of picks or anything, but it was
I think that's what's kind of saving him, right? He's not turning the ball over a ton, but, man.
And they still lost by almost 30 points. And they did lose by 30 points. It was the touchdown at the end from Andy Dalton that actually saved the day.
Yeah,
in terms of points. They're giving Trevor Etienne carries out of the backfield. They got all the backups in. Early in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Because Bryce Young just wasn't cutting it, man. And
it's going to be rough, man. It's going to be rough. It's going to be rough, Jay Rich. Let's talk about Jacksonville, San Francisco, because this Jags team, this team,
unreal.
This defense is pretty good. And Travis Etienne is great. He is playing the value of the year at the running back position right now.
Probably one of the best.
He went from being the 3rd running back on his own team behind Tank Bigsby and Basil Tootin to top 5 running back in fantasy football. Explosive, physical. He's the engine of this offense. It's not Trevor Lawrence. It's not Brian Thomas Jr. It's not Travis Hunter, who got some more work on the offensive side of the ball. 3 for 42. Nice grab over the middle of the field. Got you 7 points in PPR leagues. You'll take it. It's Travis Etienne. And his Jags defense is for real. They're 3-1, man. Jacksonville is 3-1. They're 3-1. And they went on the road. This is a big road win for them. This was a big road win for them. Trevor Lawrence, first game, I think this was his fewest pass attempts in a game, only incomplete 10. 67% completion percentage. This may be the game script, right? Run the damn ball, play good defense, complementary defense. Britton Strange and Brian Thomas Jr. led the team with 7 targets. Strange led him in receptions with 6, 5 for BTJ, 59 yards. Travis Hunter, 3 for 42. In this matchup, Parker Washington, nothing. Goose egg. But he did score a punt return touchdown, which saved me because I did start Dan Parker Washington over Hunter and got the same amount of points. Jay Rich, talk about Jacksonville, man.
Jacksonville's a tough team to figure out, right? Because offensively, they still seem like they're a bit of a work in progress. Now, Liam Cohen and that rushing attack is clearly saving this team right now offensively. Like Travis Etienne playing as a top 10 back right now. He's probably top 10 in the NFL in rushing yards as well.
Easy,
but the biggest takeaway is Jacksonville's ability to turn other teams over. 4-0 in the turnover margin against the 49ers this week. They're +9 on the season. They have 3+ takeaways in every single game this season. That is a game script that is always going to work offensively, and it's never going to put you out of a game, right? And so as long as T-Law holds on to the football and doesn't turn it over, they're always going to be in football games. And I think that's the problem when, we talked about Trevor Lawrence this season and kind of what we expected for them. We didn't expect the Jags defense to be this good. We didn't expect them to be in so many positive game scripts in terms of running the football. And because of that, I think the outlook for this team now is drastically different. Like, Britton Strange has been good because he's been seeing a lot of volume, but the yardage kind of just is fine, right? Good for a tight end. Brian Thomas Jr., that ceiling that we hoped for, mainly because of the volume, may not be there, right? Because this division still is very bad, right? Like the Jags are clearly the class of the division in some respects. Indy's still very good, and the other two teams, we'll see where they end up, especially Houston. But like in terms of startable players, T-Law is like borderline startable. Travis Etienne is a player you're definitely starting, and then Brian Thomas Jr. is another one where you're like, I'm starting him because he's Brian Thomas Jr. and I drafted him in the first or second round. But outside of Strange, I don't think there's any other players I'd really be willing to start going forward. Even though this Jags team is 3-1,
I think you still got to start. I think you still got to start Brian Thomas, man.
I think you will.
I think you just start him, and
I don't know if he's a must start, right? Like, I don't know if he's a must start, but he's right because you draft him so high. You're probably going to start him anyways. At least he was catching the football. 5 on 7 targets is good considering where he's been. Where he's been, got to take that. How did you feel about San Fran though?
Purdy was rough. Purdy was rough in this one. Yeah. He was under duress. I mean, the strip sack fumble was bad. They can't run the ball. Like Chris McCaffrey was doing everything he could to run the ball, and he was under 3 yards an attempt. 17 carries, 49 yards. But he's all they have in the receiving game. 11 targets for McCaffrey, 6 for 92 and a touchdown.
Insane.
Tonjes, they're 3-1, but it doesn't feel like a good 3-1. Like offensively, it is just, if they lose Ricky Pearsall, what do you do? Like, who are you?
Ray, I think the scary part for me with them is, so this Thursday, they play the Rams on Thursday Night Football.
God.
In SoFi.
Ugh.
Then they go on the road and they play Tampa Bay. I wouldn't say that's a victory. And then they come back home and they play the Falcons. And the Falcons is the one team that, like, I want to play, but I don't want to play because which Falcons team is showing up in that game? And if that pass rush shows up against San Francisco, they could potentially win that game as well. So that's where I think you should have some real concerns if you're San Francisco. The offense isn't looking good. They're very injured. And I believe George Kittle is still 2 weeks out from his 4-week IR stint. And then obviously Brandon Ayuk is not coming back anytime soon.
I don't know, man. I don't know, Jay. Vibes aren't good, though. Vibes aren't good if you've got those Niners and Ricky Pearsall just... As soon as we pump him up, we get excited. Here we go. Injured, Yep. Is there any confirmation on how long he's going to be out for? Do we know any definite timelines for him?
I haven't seen anything yet. There's just speculated PCL sprain for Ricky Pearsall. But yeah, I haven't seen anything definite. He's going to get an MRI today, but they're on the West Coast, so we won't hear that until probably after the show.
All right, Jay Rich, Washington, Atlanta. Mariota got the start. JD5 out. Terry McLaurin out. Deebo Samuel up, 6 for 72 on the Washington side of the ball. He did score a touchdown. Nice touchdown pass from Mariota. Those Bill Krosky merit shares, Jay Rich.
It ain't good, right?
man.
Chris Rodriguez
people
still kinda,
people got
still
first
kinda-
round picks for him week 1. First round picks.
Yeah.
Chris Rodriguez, 7 for 59. Krosky Merritt, 7 for 47. Doesn't really do anything in the receiving game.
Nope.
I hope you got the first. I've got nothing to take
hope you
away from the
cashed out.
Washington side of the ball. On the Atlanta side of the ball, how good is Bijan Robinson?
Oh.
How good
Unbelievable.
is Bijan
Lord have
Robinson?
mercy, I'm about to
I mean,
bust.
Best running back in football. Has to be.
100 yards through the air, 75 on the ground, while ceding 16 more carries to Tyler Algier. I mean, Bijan could probably be a 25 touch per game guy every single
easily.
week. And they've got a good running attack. Michael Penix was good in this matchup. Kyle Pitts played well. He scored a touchdown. London scored. Everybody who wanted to scored. Pitts scored. London scored. Robinson scored. Algier scored. Mooney hurt, non-existent in the offense. It's Bijan. This is really consolidated. I'm interested to see the Trinity. It's London, it's Pitts, really, from the pass catchers. It's Pitts and it's London. And the year that we don't talk about Kyle Pitts at all is the year he's actually kind of good. Like now he's at year 5 breakout for Kyle Pitts. You know, it's happening. Year 4 however many years he's been in the NFL, it's finally happening. Jay Rich, the Bills were favored by 15.5. Did they damn near, it was tight.
Damn near blew it.
It was tight, Jay Rich. Josh Allen, not the big monster fantasy day, you know, that we thought he would have.
Ran one in though. Saved it.
Yeah, he ran one in, which saved it. 7 for 45, a touchdown, 209, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Khalil Shakir got loose on like a long catch and run. 43 of his 69 yards came on one single play. Keon Coleman, nothing. Dalton Kincaid saved his day with the touchdown because he hadn't done shit in that inside of that game. And then James Cook is just the man. Like it's James Cook, it's Josh Allen, and you're just guessing week to week on which pass catcher is going to do something. On the Saints side of the ball, I mean, Olave scored a touchdown and threw an interception. So there goes that. Just kind of
there goes some points.
Yeah, some of the points. I thought the big takeaway was Kendre Miller looked good. He looked good in tandem with Alvin Kamara, scored the rushing touch. He looked good. They need to use somebody else because, you know, it's just Kamara back there. That's
Where are you
all
at on Kamara? He looks a little.
Does Kamara look a little? Father Time is knocking at the door.
That door it's crept open a little bit.
It's open
We're
a little
still
bit.
Getting not a whole lot. Like the rushing game has been okay, but still nothing in the receiving game, man. 4 receptions for 2 yards. This is
Rattler's going to run around, dude. Rattler's going to run around. He's just going to run around. He's not dumping. That's the problem. Like you're just counting on Kamara to just be this bell cow running back and just feed him touches, you know, running the ball. They need to throw it to him. Olave scored a touchdown, but again, didn't do shit. 3 for 20, touchdown and an interception in this matchup. Jay Rich, let's wind it down. We're getting to the end. Cleveland, Detroit. Cleveland kept it close for a little bit, and then Detroit blew the doors off of them. Goff didn't have a big game. Jahmyr Gibbs was a stud on the ground. Did you see the interview with David Montgomery on the St. Brown's podcast? He does not like, he does not like to be called a power back, Jay Rich. He was not feeling the power back moniker. He didn't do anything in this game after a monstrous 150, 170-yard performance on Monday Night Football. Monty came back down to earth. Gibbs balled out. St. Brown, 2 more touchdowns. There was really just not a lot that the Lions had to do offensively, Jay, because Joe Flacco, my goodness. I mean, how long are we going to do this for, man? Like, how long are we?
I think we're done.
How long are we going to do this shit with Flacco, dude? Like, he's got to go. He's got to go, Jay Rich.
The only reason why we're not there yet is because maybe the Browns are playing it smart. They got the Vikings this week. Then they got the Steelers coming off the bye. He's going to get pummeled in both those games. So,
we thought Jaxson Dart was going to get blown to smithereens versus the Chargers, and he kind of did, but they won the game.
Well, I agree with you there. It's a bit different for me a little bit because they're throwing Dylan Gabriel in there, and I don't think Dylan Gabriel's going to beat the Vikings or the Steelers, but we'll see. But then it opens up Dolphins, Pats, Jets, Ravens, Raiders. Like, there's a good stretch there for rookie quarterback to kind of see what he can do versus throwing him to the fire against the Vikings and the Steelers, because we know the Browns aren't going anywhere. But so maybe that's the plan. But again, I think we're there, though. Like, we've seen enough Flacco. This guy's not good enough to be playing. Might as well start Gabriel. Might as well start Sanders. We know that Gabriel's going to come in first. At this stage, why not? It's just, do you want to start him against Brian Flores? And the answer is probably not. Right? The answer is probably not.
They got to do something, Jay. They've got to do something. You're just watching it and you're like, there's just no hope. There's no hope with Flacco at quarterback. The arm looks cooked. I mean, he's 40-something years old, right? Isn't he 40? Yeah. Any 40?
Yeah.
He can't move. He can't move.
Oh, no, he can't move at all.
He can't move. Judkins is the bell cow.
Some
21
mistakes, for like I understand there's going to be miscommunication errors in a game. Like, that's going to happen. But how is he just lofting it up to safeties in the backfield, like in defensive backfield? And there's nobody in sight. Like, I understand that, like, he's new to the team and this team kind of, ain't that good. But the mistakes are beyond Bryce Young levels, right?
They're
like, Bryce
bad.
Young can put a better performance than this on a regular basis, right? We did get some questions. Oh, you wanted to move on?
No, go ahead. I'm just putting it up.
We were asked about Isaiah Bond, right? Because he led the team in receiving. And kind of if there's any indication that you should be buying in, like Quinshon Judkins was a player that we weren't really bought in on. They just brought in Isaiah Bond. He was just on the field and producing already. Is he a player that you would take a shot on? Because before you were like, there's no way, not worth it.
Sure, if he's on waivers, I'll put in a waiver claim this week. I'll put $1 or fab on him.
Yeah.
I'll throw $1 fab on him.
6 targets, 58 receiving yards, 3 receptions. Like, maybe he could be an option for this team. It doesn't seem like anyone else. Like, Jerry Jeudy is completely
that whole
from anything.
That whole range of receiver, the Jeudy, McLaurin, Ridley,
Cortland Sutton, Ridley, those guys, man. Yeah.
I'd rather have Sutton over all of them, but that range has just been brutal. Even Jacoby, it's been a nasty range.
J-Mo, man.
I asked this question in our Discord earlier this week, and I'm just going to ask you this question. Is there any chance they play him this year? And I'm talking, if you're not watching.
Year? No.
If he's rehabbing and saying he's back, if he's cleared, is there any chance Cleveland puts Deshaun Watson on the field, or do they just want to truly rid themselves of the situation and they're just like, dude, we're going to give you that Kawhi Leonard treatment. We're going to pay you just not to even come. Like, you're going to get paid. I don't care how healthy you are. You're not playing this year. Is there any chance they put Watson on the field if he's healthy?
So I believe he's already on the season-ending IR.
Okay, so he can't come back.
He can't come back either way.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. I was just looking that up really quickly. To see, but I'm pretty sure he's already on like season-ending IR to where he can't come back and play.
Okay. Cool. I was asking. I was just asking, but yeah, they need to. Yeah, Waffle House said no, they're done with that. Probably, right? You just don't even want to go. You just don't even want to open the door for bad media attention, all of that stuff. So, yep, just wanted to throw it out there. Jay, let's talk about Philly and Tampa Bay quickly. Again, he scores a touchdown, but has Saquon Barkley sort of busted based on where we picked him? I mean, he was going number 1, number 2, number 3 at worst overall in seasonal leagues. Like 19 carries, 43 yards. We knew it would be tough sledding, but man.
The offense just isn't very good. Like, it's just not. And thankfully for Barkley, he's still, a top 10 running back, it looks like, in terms of fantasy purposes, because he scored some touchdowns. And I think honestly, what's crazy, and none of us expected this, is like Barkley's catching a lot of passes.
He is.
Right? Like, once again, he led the team in receiving almost, 4 receptions, 31 yards. Dallas Goedert had 4 for 37, 2 touchdowns. I don't know why he is getting so many passes. It just seems like Jalen Hurts this season, for every reason, that's part of the offense. Dumps it down to Barkley, gets a few yards. There's a couple design plays on throws for him. It's worked out so far, but like, what do you make of Jalen Hurts? 130 yards in the first half, 2 touchdowns, 0 in the second half. Did not pass for a single yard in the second half.
Say that one more time, Jay Rich.
Jalen Hurts, 15 for 24. 130 yards, 2 touchdowns, sacked twice, 54.4 QBR, 0 passing yards in the second half, and which is the main reason why Tampa Bay almost came back and won this game.
What do you think about him?
I think, thank God he runs, Ray. If this dude could not run for 62 yards a game, I mean, you're looking at CJ Stroud out there.
He, quote unquote, can't pass, or the offense just blame the OC?
I think the OC is to blame a little bit. It's only week 4, so this offense is still trying to reacclimate to whatever they're doing this year, because every year they keep changing because of their OC keeps changing every year. But I don't understand how throwing to A.J. Brown is so difficult. Like, again, I understand that he's having his own issues, and, you know, he's tweeting out after the game, all this stuff, and it's not making things any easier. But you'd have to think that an NFL quarterback that's regarded at the level that Jalen Hurts is regarded at, fairly highly in the NFL, can hit A.J. Brown at least 50% of the time. At least 50% of the time. 2 receptions for 7 yards on 9 targets. Over double the amount of targets of any other player on the roster. He's in Brian Thomas Jr. land. That's the land he's in right now. And arguably, it's even worse.
We did the would you rather at the beginning with, like, people don't want to hear it, right? Like, I wrote about them on the piece. Check it out, Yahoo. Go check out the content over there. Yahoo Fantasy website. I just think it's going to be volatile all year. It's going to be, you never know what you're going to get. Forrest Gump style, box of chocolates. You don't know. Because they're winning. They're winning in spite of. It's the same issue
with the Jaguars, right? They're winning games despite how disgusting their offense is and how bad it looks. And so there's no reason for them to change. But this offense, much like they were in the first half against the Rams, was putrid in the second half. And
we know that both of these receivers, Jay Rich, are capable of smashing, of dominating. Both Smith, if you're just talking talent for season. Talent, that they are, you've got Chase and Higgins, you've got Amon-Ra, you've got Puka and Devontae Adams, you've got Pickens and Lamb when healthy. Like, this is a top 5 receiving unit in the NFL. They're awesome. They're 4-0 without him.
Completely wasted.
They're 4-0 without him.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
It's crazy.
What?
Tampa Bay side of the ball, the comeback fell a little bit short. Baker Mayfield running around for his life out there. Bucky Irving, 5 catches, 102 yards, and a touchdown. Emeka Egbuka, 10 targets, tied with Chris Godwin, who also had 10 in his debut, Jay Rich. Egbuka, 4 for 101 and another touchdown for him. Godwin had 3 for 26 coming back from injury. Bucky balled out. Godwin got targets. Egbuka balled out. No Sterling Shepard in this one. No Cade Otton, and Rachaad White did his customary. I'm going to gobble up 10 opportunities and hopefully do something with it. What's the takeaways? People are saying sell high on Egbuka. I'm not doing it, Jay Rich. Sure, I'll sell anybody, but this dude's he's a stud, man. He's good. And I know I'll raise 72 yards.
He is good, but we asked the question is, how do we think he's going to fare against top coverage? Yeah. We saw a lot of Quentin Mitchell in this game.
He did.
And he definitely had some growing pains, but that's what the NFL is. It's about adjusting. It's about learning and developing in new roles, and being the receiver you want to be is not going to just happen, right? Like, very rarely do you see Chase and Jefferson just come out and dominate their first couple games. And Buka obviously did that. That route where he cleared out was a fucking amazing throw from Baker. To fit it between both those defenders was insane. All Egbuka had to do was walk in the end zone. It's just, we're going to see, right? And this has been my biggest problem with this team as a whole, is Egbuka at least has established a role as a dominant wide receiver in this offense. And I don't think that's going to change. But we're going to have to see how things change when Mike Evans and Chris Godwin are on the field. Because Chris Godwin, for better or worse, 3 for 26 on 10 targets is not good. But if he's seeing 7, 8 targets, that's when you have the issue of, like we talk about with Keenan Allen, Ladd McConkey, they can't all get targets.
Well, and Evans ain't there.
Well, Evans isn't there. But I'm saying, like, at some point, they're all going to be there.
Maybe.
And if it's 7-7-7, 8-5-2, like, we're going to have a similar situation we have with the Chargers, where it's like, you don't know who the guy is until you see it. We see it now in LA. It's Quentin Johnston. And it's probably Keenan Allen second. I think Egbuka can still at least be a 2, maybe to Mike Evans as 1. It's just hopefully Godwin doesn't take away too much from him to where not he becomes unusable, but he becomes more of a wide receiver 2 than like a guy with a legitimate upside.
I mean, how high? Okay, we'll save that. We'll save. Sam asks, where does Egbuka rank rest of season? I mean, we'll save that.
It's very tough to rank him rest of season.
Yeah, because you're trying to factor in
so many. We don't know when guys are coming back. We don't know how long they're out.
Yeah.
We don't know what the offense is going to look like. I'd probably rank him like 15 or 16 pretty comfortably. I don't know if he'd quite be a 1, but maybe.
I think I would have him a little higher than 15 or 16, but neither here nor there. Jay Rich, the ride has come to an end. The turnovers, never turned the ball over, undefeated. The Colts fell to the Rams in a game in which, I mean, Indy was right there. I mean, Indianapolis was right there in this one. Daniel Jones, 262, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions for Daniel Jones. Jay Rich, Tyler Warren back in the stat sheet. 5 catches, 70 yards. And what did he score, Jay Rich? A rushing touchdown. This is what, listen, man, he ran the ball two attempts. This is one of the things that drafting Tyler Warren, you were getting kind of like this, not Taysom Hill level of cheat code because he doesn't run as much as Hill, but he's going to carry the ball. And I talked about this all offseason. I was like, they're going to use him. They're going to run the ball with him because he did it at Penn State. Pittman led the way with targets. Adonai Mitchell should have had a huge day, probably made the mistake of the weekend. You got that just, I mean, pretty rough because everything prior to him getting to the end zone was outstanding. Filling in for Alec Pierce. Hopefully we see a little more Adonai Mitchell moving forward, AD Mitchell. JT didn't get a lot going on the ground, 17 for 76 for Jonathan Taylor. Did catch a couple of passes, which helped out his fantasy day. On the other side of the ball, Stafford was lights out. I mean, 375, 3 touchdowns, 70% completion percentage. You tell me you're going to launch the ball 41 times and complete 70% of them, I know that player smashed. And Puka Nacua, 15
My goodness.
targets.
How about that Trinity
Lord
score,
have
right?
mercy, I'm about to bust.
170 yards. And a touchdown.
Finally got in the end zone. Let's go.
Tay Adams scored as well. Tutu Atwell, long catch and run. Kyron Williams fumbled again. McVay did not look happy.
And you saw that rush share dropped a little bit for Kyron. You getting concerned, Ray?
He cannot fumble the ball, dude. You can't fumble the ball. He's doing it like every other game.
Yeah.
Puka Nacua, Jay Rich. Wide receiver 1 in Dynasty over Jamar Chase?
Might as well be. Why not? Why is Chase the wide receiver 1? Honestly.
Why not?
Puka's just, he's
Why
inevitable, man. He's way too good. And they just give him so many targets.
He's like
he's Cooper Kupp's Triple Crown season. He's doing it right now. He's just not going to get the touchdowns probably. But everything else, just dominant.
It's a treat watching him play football, man.
Receiver.
He plays it. He kind of plays it in this old school way too, right? Like he's kind of rugged. He's explosive. He's tough as nails. He's awesome. I don't really know what else to say. Puka Nacua is incredible, Jay Rich.
Very good. No 1A, 1B with him and Adams.
It is all
no, sir. It's all
1A.
Puka.
It's all 1A.
Yep.
All right, Jay Rich, 2 Monday Night Football games on tap. Tonight, we got the Jets and the Dolphins, and then we got the Cincinnati
Battle of
Bengals
the
and the
bottom.
Denver Broncos. Jay, quickly, just what are your thoughts? Who do you think is going to win?
I mean, I got Denver and I got the Jets. Fields is back for anyone who missed that on Friday.
He's
back and cleared. We need to see a good Bo Nix performance. That's what we're looking for tonight. Bo Nix has been, for lack of a better word, awful this season. Missing wide open receivers. I do think that Peyton needs to kind of rein him in a little bit. Give him some shorter opportunities, not consistently launch the ball down the field. I understand why he's trying to do that. The plays are open. He's scheming open players. But Bo Nix is just struggling to hit those guys right now. So that's a big one we want to see. Is Jake Browning as bad as we saw last week? It's the other side of it, right?
Probably.
Against this Denver defense, probably. Jets and Dolphins, Ray? Give me a reason to watch.
Tyreek, Ollie, Tua. You just got to watch it. It's kind of bad, but you just got to watch, right? You got to watch
it's
Fields.
Like a 35-30
The
game
last
or something.
I saw a tweet. The last time Fields played the Miami Dolphins, he was in Chicago, and I think he had 178 rushing yards.
That was a game in Miami, right?
No, I think it was in Chicago where he was running. It was in Chicago. Yeah, I think he had 178 rushing yards and then like 150 something passing and smashed. So maybe we get a little Justin Fields magic in this Monday night game, Jay Rich. Maybe.
Can only hope. Yeah, it's 17 for 28, 123, 3 touchdowns, along with 15 carries for 178 and a touchdown on the ground, a 61-yarder. That was versus Miami, so it was at home. That's actually an insane stat line.
It is an insane
4 total
stat
touchdowns,
line, so we'll
and
see.
178 on the ground.
All right, Jay Rich, hit the music, man. So it's been a lot of talking today. It's been a lot of talking, Jay Rich. We had to go a little longer. Last week, the Monday show was short. The Wednesday show was short. Had to go a little longer today. Yeah, we appreciate everybody being in the building. We appreciate everybody on the stream. If you can, hit the thumbs up button on your way out, whether you're watching it live with us, which you should every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or you're catching it on replay. Subscribe to the Apple Podcast feed, Apple, Spotify, Google, Stitcher, everywhere you find your podcast. Check out DDFFB later today. Dynasty Takeaways with Scott and Brandon. Trust the Trinity. Trinity Talk here today as well. Jay Rich, anything you... Yeah, no Keegan today. No Keegan today. Yeah, Rich, your boy Keegan not in the show. Jay, anything you want to say before we get out of here?
No, I hope everyone has a good Monday. And most importantly, Ray, the postseason in baseball is back. And I am so excited, man. 6 o'clock tomorrow, we got Crochet on the hill against the Yankees. And you know what he's going to do. Going to be lights out.
Lights
in
out.
New York. I'm pumped,
Lights
man.
out. Yeah, postseason
so
baseball is kind of dope. We appreciate y'all watching.
101.
Yeah, appreciate y'all watching, man. We love y'all. We'll see y'all on Wednesday. We out. Peace.